Hi, I'm Anthony Renna. Welcome to Strength Coach TV, where we bring you inside some of America's top facilities to get an idea of maybe how they design their facility based on their program design, their philosophies, and probably more importantly, their budgets. You can see I'm sitting in my facility right now. This part right here, we just knocked this wall down, so we're expanding into here. Got the flooring going down on Saturday. In this room, we're going to have a little putting green, and that's why I'm in here today, because I wanted to talk maybe about some future episodes. Some of the facilities we've already visited have expanded or even moved, so we might go revisit them this summer on future episodes just to see maybe what that entailed. Might talk about 5-iron fitness as well. But today we're heading out to Santa Clarita, California to go visit my good friend Robert Dos Remedios at the College of the Canyons. And it's a really interesting place because it's a junior college. He doesn't have the resources that maybe a bigger school might have, but certainly still has to get things done. And what you're gonna see is a little quiet version of our little tour of our interview. But 10 minutes before, there was 80 football players in there, and they were jumping all over the place and doing cleans and Olympic lifts and squats and everything you can imagine. It was really noisy. I don't know how Coach Dos does it. Definitely takes a special person to be able to coach that many people and to keep track of what's going on and really kind of keep everybody in line. He does a great job out there. So let's go visit Coach Dos out in Santa Clarita, California at the College of the Canyons. All right, I'm here in Santa Clarita, California at the College of the Canyons with Coach Robert Dos Remedios. Coach, thanks for coming on today. Hey. All right. All right. Well, first of all, we just got in here. It's very quiet right now. We just got in. There was 80 football guys. This place was a zoo. It was a madhouse. I don't know how you do it, but that right there says it all. Go hard or go home. Coach, what we want you to do is basically go over a little bit about, when the guys come in, what they're doing first. Tell us a little bit about some of the challenges you have with so many guys. We're looking at about 2,500 square feet in this room, maybe a little more in the other room. You got to use outside. Tell us all about it. You can just
awesome. Cool.
Pop that up on there.
All right. All right. Are we going to move in the room?
Yeah, go in the other room.
All right.
That's cool.
So let's come on in here and kind of show you what happens when the groups come in. With football, they stagger in a little bit earlier. Most groups get in at just about 5 or 6 minutes early. So come through the doors here, and basically this whole space here, they'll pull out the foam rollers back there in the corner. They'll go through the little foam roll routine, and then we got our kettlebell setups here, and they'll get, depending on how big the group is, like before the group you just saw right now, we had like 6, 7 volleyball girls come in and like 3 golfers. So they come in and they'll do, basically, as our kind of activation deal, we do this a set of 3 Turkish get-ups on each arm. Okay. Kind of wakes them up. With some of the baseball guys and even the golf guys, we'll go through a little TRX mobility as well. And this kind of works well in the space. And as they transition out, so now they'll transition out to, usually going to start with an Olympic lift variation. So now they'll get on a platform and go through a simple bar complex, basically, before we start the meat of our workout, basically.
Cool. So yeah, you got 1, 2, 4, like about 7 or 8. How many Olympic lift? Oh no.
I have 4. Yeah, we have 14 altogether. 14. So we basically, it's real. I guess primitive. I guess you'd say in here. So I've got the freestanding squat stands, the adjustable ones here with the 3 Samsons, and then the squat racks. It suits our. We were talking about this earlier. Optimally, I'd have more space, so we have more space to move around. I don't like when we get that traffic that you guys saw. It gets a little crazy if we got some kids doing snatches or something on a platform and having a kid having to cut across. So in a perfect world, I would have more space, but we're just not going to get more space at this point.
Yeah, anything from an equipment perspective that you like, kind of like a wish list within your, kind of budget or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically looking around, like from a redesign perspective.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. We have all of our regular weight training classes, our advanced weight training classes come in here. We even have some faculty and staff kind of workshops in here as well. That's really the only reason. When I first got here, the only thing that's really remaining is those 3 hammer strength, pull push kind of deal. They had a bunch of Nautilus machines and really old school stuff. We just kept those there, but ultimately we've been talking about this, and it's going to happen probably pretty soon, is to get rid of those and see if we can get a little bit of money for them, if anybody's buying those anymore. And then maybe trying to even get 2 more setups, kind of like this one here with the adjustable squat stands and platforms, just to give us more space. Because it really, like literally, if I had 2 more platforms, I might shave off another 5 minutes off this entire group's workout that you just saw. 80 is actually kind of small. So in the summer, we'll have 110, and then you'll see us actually have to station out outside. And Anthony mentioned it earlier, outside we have the cement walls. We do a lot of our slam ball stuff, our medicine ball swings, things like that outside. Sometimes, depending on how big the group is, we might actually have standing squat stands out there, maybe doing push jerks and things like that outside. Dumbbells, doing like lunges up and down the hill, things like that. So we try to use up our space. Hallway, sled work might be going on as well. So it gets pretty crazy. Wow. It drives kind of the administrators wild around here.
Yeah. So let's go back into this room. I just want to make a point about, anybody that's seen some of your videos knows you do a lot of TRX stuff. There's a lot of other, like sandbags, ropes, the tires. We just did one at BU. Nothing like that, there at the main, the main room. Do you feel like you've had to use some of these tools because of maybe the limited space? You got to be a little more creative.
It's one of those things where when we find something that works, it's only been a couple of years since we started using kettlebells, and I fought it for years. I taught to other people about that. Like we hadn't done sandbags and things like that, and when we started using them, we started seeing, hey, we could plug this in, and it could play a big vital role in our program. So basically, I got a lot of toys. But everything you see, we use pretty regularly. You saw us with the sandbells on the ground, using them almost like slides. Yeah. We were doing saws with that, adding extra load. Inside that tire, I got all our slam balls with the ropes on there. We'll sledgehammer, we'll flip the tires. Mostly in here, it's mostly sledgehammer stuff. And then basically the 2 trash cans, those are full of sandbells from 2 pounds all the way up to 40 in there.
We just had you doing, you
guys. Look at it. Yeah. Yeah, so we were working saws with that, and it really kind of adds a dimension. We'll do Spider-Man push-ups, put that underneath the hand and things like that. So we try to use all these crazy things. And then another thing that we do is it's kind of cool. Obviously, the X mounts are meant to be overhead, but for us, it works pretty well with hinge rows and things like that. So I've actually got grip tape on the walls, so we can actually work our way up and get almost inverted. Yeah, and you can see when I was talking earlier, we had some of the older TRX units, and we were kind of busting through them a little bit. So, but not only that, we'll have these 5 up all the time. Shoulder consideration, things like that, warm up, even part like volleyball girls finish with like face pulls on them. But then we'll line them all the way up on all the squat racks as well. So we can get 2 on each of those. One on the side, 1 on the front. So we can get another 10 going right there. So we can facilitate a lot of groups. And then all the other stuff you see, the sleds, we've got carpet on them. We can take the carpet off, take them on the field. We just have that so we can work it in the hall and our ropes and our sandbags and goodies, ladders and things like that.
Yeah. Coach, biggest challenge really that you face? I mean, we've already accepted, you've been here for a while, so you know what your budget is. You've gotten around that with certain different tools, kind of working the logistics of it. What's your biggest challenge really in here? There's zero allotted for budget for us for repair, new equipment, anything like that. So everything that you see in here has been fundraised for essentially. So every year we do a seminar and we raise a few $1,000s here. Sometimes we get some donations. We get a lot of people helping us out, like Chris at Perform Better, and giving us great deals on stuff, and TRX and Josh Henke with the sandbags. We got a lot of people helping us, which is really cool. It's really kind of a nice, humbling kind of thing. The space is the biggest thing for us, but only with a group like that. Most of the day, it's not that crazy. I might have 15 basketball guys at the same time, maybe have 8 volleyball girls training at the same time. That's a pretty small group. Men's soccer could be a pretty big group at times, up to 40 people, and they're a little different kind of creature. So we kind of work around it. But if I had more money, I'd like to obviously replace some of these bars, replace some of the platforms, kind of do what we said with the hammer stuff. But really, I don't really want for anything here. And it's one of those things where most people are really surprised when they come here. It's a community college. A lot of teams we play won't even have a weight room. It'll just be kind of like a little weight training room for their classes, and they just kind of get in there, maybe 1 platform or something. So, we feel like it's a great resource that we have here for our athletes. We make sure they really appreciate it and what we do here. But like I said, I really can't complain with our situation other than the square footage. If I had more square footage, I could do a few more things, at the same time with these groups, with the big groups. I mean, we saw 80 people in here. It looked like it was running as smooth as it possibly can. It was a little crazy. I wouldn't have wanted to go walk through that area,
you would have got hit with them,
Hey, you're doing a great job. Coach, thanks for the time.
Oh, man, thank you. Thanks for coming, guys.
All right.
Whether you're opening a small personal training studio or a major strength and conditioning facility, Perform Better's fitness facility design team will work with you from layout to installation to create the fitness facility design that best meets your needs and budget. Their team of facility design experts is dedicated to bringing you the best advice and equipment to help you and your teams perform better. Go to performbetter.com to fill out a facility design form, and one of their trained facility designers will contact you to get started on your fitness facility today. When I opened 5 Iron Fitness, I use Perform Better, and I can't recommend them highly enough. Go to performbetter.com.
All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 8 of Strength Coach TV. Thanks to Coach Robert Dos Remedios for allowing us to come into the College of the Canyons and giving us a little bit of his time. He's a busy man out there, so we really appreciate that. Just remember, you can go to strengthcoachtv.com to watch back episodes. We've got some great stuff already on the show, and then we have some great stuff coming up. We have Joe Dowdell's Peak Performance coming up, Drive 495 in New York City, and we'll be probably heading up to another school shortly as well. So strengthcoachtv.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. Say something to the mic.
Testes.
Testes.
Testes, 1, 2, 3.